For years, they had the #1 show on Charleston radio until a corporate decision canceled it all. But in this edition of Quintin Reports, Tessa and Baby J talks to me about their new life in radio, their future plans, and much, much more. So listen, Tessa and Baby J, you have been working at Star 99.7 for a couple of months now.
Yeah.
Tell me, how's it going?
For me, it's going good.
Yes.
Of course, a different atmosphere. The music's a little bit different, and
Sure.
We'd like to think that we're the new 25, 54. So, it's been a welcome change, very welcome change.
Yes. Baby J?
I'm very happy. Just like Tessa said, it's getting used to the music takes a little turn for you sometimes, but then to be able to surprise people with like, oh, I know about Teddy Pendergrass and Frankie Beverly and Mays. That's a real good thing. It's real fun.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, you guys were let go from Z-93 because of corporate downsizing last year.
Right.
Yeah.
How did it feel after being the #1 morning radio show in Charleston and you had so many listeners? How did it feel?
Wow, I think it was almost like a mourning process. And I think because it happened so suddenly, and being the professionals that we are, because we are professionals, I think had we been given the chance to at least say goodbye, we would have conducted ourselves in a professional manner, said, this is the way it works, this is the real world, this is how it happens.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for spending the past 12 years with us.
Yes.
And went from like wow to like, okay, wow, my kids don't have insurance, what am I going to do? To like, okay, wow, I don't have to wake up in the morning, but wow, we didn't get to say goodbye to these people.
Right.
So it took a while to kind of get used to that part of it. So
You got that right. I mean, it was, because it's like 1 minute you're laughing and joking and everything is cool, and then you turn around and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. I mean, I just realized I didn't have to get up early anymore like 2 weeks ago. Because I was still getting up early. I was like, wait a minute, I can stay up and watch the NBA playoffs. I'm okay, So, but it's a part of life. It was a life lesson. And, hey, we're keeping it moving, man. Still going forward.
I think what's important too is that we've never taken anything for granted, and we always worked on our craft over the years, and we were our worst critics. And there would come times when we would do some self-checking, like, how do you think we're doing? What else? How can we stay relevant? What are some things different that we can do with the show? But it took some time, and especially when people would bring up, man, what happened to y'all? Man, why did you would get to the point where I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Please don't ask me about it anymore.
Yeah,
We're not there. We've gotten over it, and we hope that you will eventually too. So,
was there ever a moment when you just decided just wanted to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was about maybe a day or so. You know what I'm saying? But then after that, it was just just figure like God has a plan for everybody.
Yes.
And we just had to kind of sit back and get quiet for a minute, be still for a little while, and just say, okay, what am I supposed to be doing?
Sure.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, being one place for 12 years, doing this, you kind of forget like what is it like to have to look for a job. You feel kind of like antiquated in a way. You just feel like out of the loop. Like, I don't know what a resume, man. I haven't had to put together a resume in 12 years.
Yeah,
if not longer. So, like I said, it was just really an adjustment period.
Yes.
And job offers or people saying, hey, well, why don't you look into this? This is this. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Some we may have followed up on. Others, we just, like Jay said, just still be quiet because I thought it was just going to be me, but when it was both of us, I told you, I said it's part of a bigger plan.
Yes.
So we have to, eventually accept that and then just sit back, wait and see what happens.
And so what led you to Star 99.7?
Just Facebook. Facebook
we got that
and
call. Yeah, we
Facebook
got that
and a phone call.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's it, yeah.
Like I said, they contacted, out of, pretty much out of the block.
Yes.
Because, what the good thing about it with being let go, and the time served that we had done, we didn't have to honor a non-compete.
Okay.
Which was good because had they, fired us and then said that we couldn't work in the
For 6
market
months.
or long, it would have been longer
Yeah,
by their
longer for
terms.
us,
It would have been longer for the amount of time that we had put in.
Right.
That would have really been cruel.
Wow.
So to have that happen where we would have the freedom to stay in the market, which was good, and Apex Broadcasting, they saw that as, a way to take us in, and we said, okay, well, we'll try it.
Yes.
And see, so.
Well, after Z-93 Jamz, you became a reporter at Channel 4.
Yeah, and actually, You're absolutely right. Now, before then, almost 2 years prior, I was freelancing
That's
as
right.
a anchor for Good Morning Charleston and
Yes.
Low Country Life, filling in until they hired Laura.
Right.
And it was an amazing what transpired between being let go that morning and within 24 hours to already have a job, because a reporter position came open the same day that I lost the radio job. And so they were a little concerned whether or not I would even like reporting. So we did that for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I like it. And okay, well, it's working for us. So,
Yes.
okay, sign here, okay, and boom.
Yes.
So that that took some adjustments. So, but I have to get up earlier,
How's that?
about 1:45, between 1:45 to 2:15.
Wow.
So I'm trading that amount of sleep in, because before with radio I would get up around 4.
Yes.
4:15.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting up 2 hours earlier, and it's like, okay, I'm getting too old.
Yes.
I can't sleep.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
agree
you-
with me. I know.
Look,
Don't agree
I was
with
sitting there
me,
like,
Quintin.
Quintin, don't say anything, don't say anything.
Just shut up.
Yeah, I
Just
was,
listen.
I was reeling you in. I was baiting you with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's interesting because it's something that I always wanted to do ever since I was a little girl, and it's just been such a fun journey to have been given the opportunity and to watch it unfold.
And also, you do a lot of voiceovers, including for the Gospel Stellar Awards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did the voiceover business bite you?
It's funny, I was working in radio in Nashville, in fact, in the very same building where Oprah got her start, right, fresh out of Tennessee State
Yeah.
University, where she had her first radio job, WVOL,
Yes.
in Nashville, a little cement building. It's still there. And I was, doing middays there, and a salesperson said, well, they were doing some advertising, the Gospel Stellar Awards, and so they said, well, do you know of anybody that can audition, put an audition tape? And so I did, and so from that point on, from December of 1995, they chose me, and I've been doing it since then, except for 1 year when the director at the time wanted his wife to do it.
Wow.
And they called me back the next year. So I don't know what that was about, but I'm grateful.
Are they still married?
You know what? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And then that led into for working with the company Central City Productions out of Chicago. They also do the Trumpet Awards, so started adding on that, and the television shows Know Your Heritage, and that's in syndication, and that's played here locally, actually on Channel 4.
Yes.
They've carried that as well, so it's been great.
Cut me off whenever you need to.
No, you're good. No,
Okay.
you're good. You're good.
Well, listen, I understand that you also were trying out as a cheerleader for the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I did
Talk to me
that
about
when
that.
I did that when I was in Nashville as well. Let me tell you a little bit something
Okay.
about myself. I'm a woman, in truth, but I'm not a girly girl.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, really, I mean, I cheered, when I was like in 2nd grade, or was it 7th grade? I don't remember. Cheered in 7th grade. I didn't cheer again until I was a freshman in college at Baptist College, which is now Charleston Southern. And I only did that because my roommate, who had been a lifelong cheerleader, said, "Oh, you should try out."
Wow.
But then I made varsity and she made JV, and that didn't go over too well. So then after that happened, the Tennessee Titans, when I was in Nashville working there, they moved from, was it Houston?
Yes.
They moved from, they used to be
Yeah.
the Houston Oilers, moved
Right.
to Nashville.
Right.
And I just had my oldest son, James, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try out for it and
Sure.
see. And so I really only did it to see if I could do it. Because at that point, I was one of maybe two other women that were close to 30 at the time. Everyone else, 18 to 22. And so I did it, made it. That was great. I did a couple of charity events, a golf match.
Wow.
But I knew that I wasn't in it for the long haul
Okay.
because it was very superficial, and that's not me.
Yeah, I understand.
But it was a good experience, though.
Really? And Baby J, I understand that you actually got your start in broadcasting when you got in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to believe, right?
And he still gets in
Yeah,
trouble.
no, I didn't. No, it's hard
Adult
to
trouble.
believe.
Adult trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I just kind of, I had this problem with talking.
Oh.
I just like to talk a lot.
Yes.
And do a lot of joking and stuff. I mean,
No.
stuff that I don't do now.
Right.
I'm so straightforward.
Okay.
And I just kind of caught the bug. I was just clowning around in school, and the guy came in and said, I'd like you to help me out and do some of the little things that you do on some commercials. And I did it, and I was like, wow, this is kind of fun. And so I guess I will do college now.
Yes.
And we just went from there.
Yeah. And you actually got your start in radio in Greensboro. North
Greensboro,
Carolina.
yes.
Greensboro, I should say, yeah.
Yes, I sure did. In Greensboro, North Carolina at 102 Jamz at WJMH.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. Still talk with them every day, and I really owe a lot to them and what they taught me
Yes.
when it comes to radio.
And you are a North Carolina native.
Yes, indeed. Tar Heel through and through.
Even though he didn't go to it.
Oh,
Oh,
don't
he-
start
University
with
of North
that.
Carolina.
No, I didn't. I went to Winston-Salem State University.
Yeah. And a great
SU,
HBCU.
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
But he's a Tar Heels fan.
Yeah.
But I'm a Tar Heels fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tessa, I understand, and I didn't even notice, but you actually were involved in the military.
Yes, actually, here's another thing. When I
tell them about the great Kool-Aid in the canteen.
I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
I was the constant Private Benjamin, if you will.
Wow.
And that's to know up front, because eventually, after I had gotten in and experienced it, I really did want to serve the country in in every aspect. But my roommate, when we were in college, we were kind of bored.
Wow.
We were sitting in our dorm room and said, "Man, I'm bored. Yeah, I'm bored too. Let's do something." Okay, yeah, what are we gonna do? And literally, it was just like out of a movie. Up on the TV screen pops, I think it was maybe it was an Air Force commercial. Join the Air Force. We're like, oh wow, yeah, let's do that. Okay, you want to go? So we did that. I went to the Air Force recruiter. We didn't really like that too much, and then somehow we ended up at an Army recruiter. We enlisted, went in on the buddy system, and that summer we did basic training at Fort Jackson, where I did have Kool-Aid in my canteen because I was not a water drinker, and my mother would send me care packages, and she would send Kool-Aid in there. So
do you still drink Kool-Aid right now?
Actually now I drink it in the slushy form in Circle K. I love those. Either the flavor of grape or cherry.
Oh, they are good. Oh, you gotta try them. Yes.
Oh
man.
I introduced Jay to that, but and so I did that, and then we came back, did another semester of school, and then the following summer we went out to San Antonio, Texas, to do training there. So really, I'm like a field medic by trade. My Army jobs, I would have worked in something like a MASH unit.
Yes. And
then I was activated during Desert Storm in 1990. Went away for about a year. Went away to Fort Leavenworth, but not went away like jail. But we actually, the Fed prison was right next door. Was right next door to the base. But after that experience and getting to meet so many people and making friends, I had a great time. And I think at that time I wanted to re-enlist and actually go in full time.
Okay.
But they wanted me to come back in as a warrant officer, and they asked if I would be interested in becoming a helicopter pilot, and I said no. I'm not a fan of flying. But though it would have been pretty cool, and I fly helicopters. Wow! Add that to my resume.
If you know how she drive, no helicopter.
He doesn't know his left from his right.
Oh, is that right?
No.
That's wrong. Oh no, we don't have to talk about that one. No,
you have to admit that you don't know sometimes your left from your right. Yeah. Admit it.
Wow.
Admit it.
Wow.
Consider that as admission.
Too much pressure.
Next question, please.
Yeah, next question. Too much pressure. No.
Well, you got to take me back down memory lane again at Z-93.
Okay.
How were you guys able to become and maintain that #1 spot in the morning for so long?
I think it was 1999. We both came down. She came from Tennessee. I came from North Carolina. And Terry Bass, he suggested we come together as a morning show. And what we did was each year we found a way to reinvent ourselves.
Wow.
And, and especially to stay in the community and let everybody know, sometimes people can get to a point where they think they don't need you anymore because they have you listening already. But that was something that when we started doing the show, that was something that we never wanted to do. We always wanted to be a part of the community and be that fixture in. So, if people needed us, we were always there, and we could go to the hoodest of hoods and still go in and have a good time. And they know, hey, that's Tessa and J, man. Y'all move back. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna sell drugs on this corner. Tessa and J here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everything was gonna be all good. Out of respect for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And we just wanted to find ways to reinvent ourselves and also to give people the one thing about radio that I was always taught, and I know Tessa was taught that way too, is radio to be that movie without the picture, but we give you that picture.
Okay.
And so we just wanted to have one big conference call every morning with everybody, no inhibitions, no limitations, and just have a good time.
And then too, I think, just the common thing, we've talked about this before, it's just plain on chemistry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You either have it
or you don't.
Or you don't.
Or you don't.
That's right.
And when you're faking it or you have to force it, people know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
but I think,
Exactly.
I think we just had a genuine like and respect for one another.
Yes.
Even though, I didn't like him at first.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, she didn't. Oh, we did a boat ride, dude. Oh,
when
she
I
didn't
first
even,
met, it was before
before
I moved back home to work with him.
Oh.
I had on good clothes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He did not make a very good first impression, Quintin.
Wow.
Yes.
That's how I could
so
tell
that
that she
lingered
wanted
for a
me.
while.
That's how I could tell she wanted me, right?
It's a
Then
different
and
type
there,
of story.
yeah.
Wow.
Right then and there.
Next question.
She was like, is that Shamar Moore talking to me right now? You know what I'm saying?
No, come on, 'cause I have a real picture with Shamar Moore. Thank you very much.
And tell him how you cut the head off and then put mine up there.
Why would I do that?
Because you know.
Next question.
And speaking,
see what I'm saying? We did that.
and speaking of celebrities, you have interviewed so many celebrities at Z-93.
Yes.
Fill in your memory half for me. Who was your most memorable guest?
Wow. It's a when we were doing the show in Rhode Island and for here, we had Lionel Richie and Chucky Booker in studio.
In studio.
With keyboard
and
and
he sang
everything.
all night long live on radio with him. And my other song that I like.
All Night Long.
I just said that.
Oh, okay, you did.
Yeah, the slow song. You are.
You are.
You are. That was my favorite song. One of my favorite ones.
And we also talked to Will Smith.
That was my favorite.
That was fun because Tessa had to fax him a picture to show that she was black.
Yeah, he thought,
yeah.
Tell me about that.
It was interesting because we were talking to him on the phone. He was at the time he was doing the interview from his daughter. Willow's bed.
Yeah.
You know, she had a princess theme or whatever. We were talking about that, and that's what he was doing the interview from. And we're talking, and I don't know how we got on that subject. He said, "Well, if me and you had a kid, or something like that, it would, people would something else." And then we let it go. We laughed, and I said, "Wait a minute, what's he talking about?" So I went back to it. I said, "What did you mean by whatever?" He said, "Oh yeah, because you're what?" Will, and I remember the line, "Will, I'm black," and he was like, "Really?" Fax me a picture. So, that's what made the conversation pretty memorable. And also, Missy Elliott, was it?
Missy
Who told us that Janet Jackson did not know what a debit machine, ATM, like at the grocery store.
Right, yeah.
She didn't know what that. She never used it. She'd never seen that before.
I'm sure because she has so much people around.
Exactly. So she has people to shop for her, And then I think the first time that we met Jesse Jackson.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the times I was truly, truly nervous. Because it's like, this is the man of the civil rights movement, like he didn't have Martin Luther King Jr. cell number, but he knew where he lived, you know what I'm saying? And, they shared jail cells together, you know what I'm saying? And it's,
They're in Memphis together.
Exactly. The first time when he came in the studio and it was just like, wow. And that was pretty cool. And then Reverend Al Sharpton, I interviewed him when I was hosting a happy hour night at the club.
Really?
That was pretty cool. When he was running for president, he
came
came out.
I was just watching him on the BET Awards the other night.
Exactly. That's what I'm like.
Award.
So I'm like, man, I've talked to you in the club before, but it was pretty cool. So it's been some good times.
Really?
And more to come.
I'm sure.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Baby J, I understand that, and I notice for a fact because I see it on Facebook and Twitter all the time, but you have a love for sports.
Yes, I do.
Where did you get that love from?
My uncles.
Really?
My uncles that raised me, they were real big sports fans. And I remember I used to always watch Monday Night Football with them. And that's one of the things I used to do with them too, watching Monday Night Football. And I would do the Howard Cosell stuff, and this is Howard Cosell, and I do the play-by-play and things like that. But it's football, basketball, baseball during the World Series, and everything else. So it made me a really big sports fan.
Were you impressed by the Miami Heat this year?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was really impressed. I think they did a really good job. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan.
Wow.
Which is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, should you be a Bobcats fan for
Something.
North Carolina?
Exactly.
But I just like the Detroit bad boys. It's like, we go in, we handle business.
Yes.
Don't mess with us, or we'll show you where we come from, and
Yes.
that was it. So yeah.
Well, describe to me the following in one word.
Okay.
Radio.
Wow. Passion.
Really?
Dedication.
One word to describe Charleston.
Home.
Really?
I always come back to it. And every time I've come back to it, it's with a greater appreciation
Yes.
of all that's here.
Wow.
And I'm very proud. Most people will move away from their hometown, especially, if it's not like in one of the larger cities, and they'll say, oh, I'm from New York or I'm from Atlanta. No, where am I from? Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm damn proud of it.
There you go.
So.
One word to describe Baby J.
Wow. I know, right? Or one word to describe. Let's see. I gotta think because there's so many aspects to Jay that I think, and so many different sides that people don't know about him. Complex wouldn't be the word.
Okay.
But diverse wouldn't do him any justice. So I've watched him evolve over the years. I don't know the one word really to
You don't.
No, because it would have to be the right word, and it would have to embody, you know, all that he is, all that he has become, and all that he is still evolving into.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I would say, no, but that still wouldn't be good enough, because I would say evolving. It's hard for me. I can't say.
One word to describe Tessa Spencer.
Pudding. That's my pudding.
That's his nickname.
That's my pudding right there, man. Let me tell you something. I mean, you know, she has what we like to call paycheck English. You know what I'm saying? She dresses nice. She's about her business.
She really is.
You know, she's a beautiful mom, hardworking.
Very much.
That's just my pudding right there, man.
I'm happy to hear that.
That's my pudding right there. My pudding.
I understand that your spirit led you to that particular opportunity.
And Quintin, when I tell you that where did I get that from? Jill Scott?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. That the spirit led me to that. That's exactly how it happened. It was a Mother's Day weekend, I think of 2010, 2011, 2010, I don't even remember the time.
Okay.
And it was in my mind. I said it to me twice before then, about 2 weeks leading up to Mother's Day of that year. You can make jewelry, and it was just like a breeze or whatever. And I know that it stuck with me because when it said it, I went and which is what I always do when a thought comes to me. And so that Mother's Day, my mom was in town, and we went to the Walmart in Tanger, and they were going to get some pictures developed, which happened to be right next to the jewelry aisle with all the things. And I remember I walked away from them, and I looked down the aisle, and I went, because that thought still stuck with me. You can make jewelry.
Yes.
And so, as luck would have it, my dad, they couldn't wait. They had to go back to North Carolina. They asked if I would pick this stuff up for them, and I would meet them in Atlanta for a graduation the following weekend. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. So I went to work that morning, went back to the Walmart, had to walk past the aisle to go to the photo lab. And as I'm walking out, walked past the photo lab, it said, "Do it." And it stopped me in my tracks. And I looked up and I said, okay. And I went back to the aisle. I stood there. I had never had a desire to make jewelry before, didn't know how to make jewelry before. And I stood there and I said, Lord, you don't know, I don't have the means to do this, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I managed to. I stood there for about 20 minutes, narrowed it down to a little kit, and I went home that evening, started making it, had to pick the boys up from school. But from that point on, from like 5 o'clock that evening until midnight when I had to make myself stop, I had made about 4 to 5 bracelets, posted them up on the website, and I also grabbed some crosses, but the crosses on there. And then from there it went to, wow, those are nice. Are you selling them? If you sell them, I would buy them. And I'm like, what? And people were asking, what is your business name? I said, it's not a business, it's a hobby. I like doing it to give you a chance to meditate and breathe and things of that nature. And they're like, what's the name of it? So I don't have a name for it, but just like it came, you can make jewelry.
Sure.
The name Beatitudes, and of course Beatitudes in the Bible.
Yes.
Beatitudes. And on the heels of that, I said, oh, I get it. I said it out loud, but to spell it Beatitudes, but with bead, B-E-A-D.
Wow.
And so that was the foundation for it. And I don't really push it as a business like maybe I should or shouldn't. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
But I have to be in the I have to feel it. And each bracelet is one of a kind.
Wow.
No one else would have the same bracelet. Now, mind you, if they want the same beads or the same family, I can do that. But I have to feel your energy when I'm making it. And I don't, people are like, well, do you have any I can buy right now? I said, no. I have to make it. I have to know you. I have to talk to you, because when I'm making it for you. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I haven't, because working 2 full-time jobs, I haven't had as much time as, I want to. But it's on my list of things to get back to doing. Again.
Speaking of which, what is the next chapter for Baby J and Tessa?
I don't know.
That, my friend, will soon be told.
Okay.
He's funny. Now, honestly, we don't know. We honestly do not know.
Okay.
And I think that's because the Spirit guides us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have like most people have goals or plans. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. Not to say that we don't have, oh man, one day I'd love to work in New York, or I'd love to, those are thoughts, but those aren't, we're just guided to certain things. So I'm pretty sure whatever the next step is going to be pretty exciting.
Wow.
Not our will.
It's God's will.
That's right.
Man, you better let them know. That's it. That's it.
And with that, Baby J and Tessa, I really thank you for it. It was really fun.
No,
Thank
we
you.
thank you.
Our pleasure.
We thank you.